story and it be shit like that. All that tough talk, what? You ain't built like that. What? You ain't hopping the shit, you ain't bring that shit man back. You ain't been in the...
Hey, yo, what up? Be okay, and this motherfucker's gonna be okay, and this motherfucker. Like, comment, subscribe, share, dislike, do all that. Do something though, show some love, right? So let's check out the video. Boom.
It's an Erie site in Chicago's Field Museum, an ancient Egyptian bust that's a dead ringer from Michael Jackson. If you're not watching television, turn and look at this. Here's a side-by-side look of the two. The bust is actually of a woman, and it's about 3,000 years old. Much like Michael's nose, the nose on the Egyptian statue is starting to disappear. Now, if you're thinking Jackson modeled himself after the statue, think again. It hasn't been on display for about 100 years. And that makes this even more ironic. In 1993, Jackson did a video for the song Remember the Time, which...
All right, so he said, right, that it was even more pretty much disturbing because the artifact, quote unquote, had not been around for 100 years, right? So let me just start off by saying this, right? I didn't put this video in the last video I was supposed to, so I started the video off with the, you know, the artifacts, quote unquote, right? So, now that we see what that is, tell me what that is out of you. What do y'all think that is, right? This is just, you know what I'm saying? This is just by coincidence. You know? It's just... Who knows, huh? And this is what I was talking about when I was talking about the gods. You understand what I'm saying? Why do y'all feel like, you know, in the Bible it says that we're all related, right? And so the Bible also says that it's allegorical. It's also allegorical, right? And so, with that being said, why do you think everybody you knew was always like, man, Michael Jackson, my cousin? And this is what I was talking about. See, at one point, you know, we all descended from the gods, correct? Correct. This is why the Bible says, ye are gods, right? Okay, so at one point we were 80 feet tall, you know, vibrating higher, such and such. And this is what I need y'all to understand. Why will we still be considered gods after we fell in vibration, lost our height? You know, so height gives you the ability to see, right? That's why the Cyclops had that big eye. Anyways, it gives you the ability to see, right? And so, ye were gods, correct? And so, when you are born from a human, right? You know what I'm saying? When you are born from a human, excuse me. When you are born from a human, and another human, you are 100% human. How then could you be a god? You know what I'm saying? I told you at one point we descended from the gods. This is perfect. This is the perfect, like, dude, that statue was a representation of the original gods. When you look at statues like that, or pieces of artifacts like that, or, you know what I'm saying, just whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying, it gives you a certain type of feeling that no other artifact will ever do. You know what I'm saying? So also, I wanted to put this into perspective as well. So they like to say that it's really twisted. This probably gonna be like a 5-series part. Like, this is part 2. So they like to say that the whole LGBTQ community started in Rome, you know what I'm saying? But when you look at Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying, everybody had there was accusations that he was, you know, he belonged to that community, correct? You know what I'm saying? And further on, whatever the case may be. But what I'm saying is, obviously, that's an old artifact, right? You know what I'm saying? Claimed to be from ancient Egypt, right? So the question is, was this around for centuries and centuries? You see what I'm saying? Because this right here,
100 years. And that makes this even more ironic. In 19...
come on now. Come on now. Then you got this right here. Come on, fam. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Okay. Come on, man. I don't want to hear you a God. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. I'm going to get into the other stuff in a second. Just listen to this as well, right? So, some of y'all could be forgotten gods, like I said before. A lot of y'all came back to Earth. What you think you came back to Earth for? You think... Let me just ask you this. When you become a god, do you think just stuff, you just live happily ever after?
Incoming call. Incoming call.
Do you think stuff just happens, right? When you a god, like you just, everything is just peaches and cream. No, you still have to protect yourself as a god. There's human beings that are trying to get rid of gods as well because they want that position. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because there are a lot of slots that are full. So you can't be the god of shoes if there's already a god of shoes. You see what I'm saying? So to understand this, right, let's check this out. This is Colin Powell. Now, Amazon has a book called Yaqub, the father of the white race. You know what I'm saying? Don't you think that's ironic? Seeing as who Colin Powell is? Look at dude, and then look back at that other picture. Last time I checked, you ain't doing that. Are you a god? Answer that question. You know what I'm saying? When you get around gods, they have unbelievable, unhuman-like energy. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you look at those statues and that stuff, like, bro, that make you feel a certain type of way. You ain't doing that. Do you feel what I'm saying? You're not a god yet. I told y'all before, this is how you limit yourself from being a god. To think that you're already a god and that you know that you're a god already. Incorrect. This is how they're keeping people from being extra gods. The gods don't want any more gods around so that they cannot be harmed. You feel what I'm saying? You're a threat now. You know what I mean? So to understand that, listen, dude, if you were a god, don't you think that somebody would have broke down your door by now trying to get something, you know what I'm saying? You would have had to go in some type of hiding. You would have had to do something to get some type of reinforcement around you. You know? Like, this ain't no walk in the park. Oh, I live for... Like, no, you don't. You're not flying, bro. You're not a superhero, bro. Literally. Everybody... This rabbit hole go deep. I'm just gonna tell you that, man. Every time I tell y'all something, it's some new information download. So everybody in history played a part and a role. So like I was saying before with the Michael Jackson thing, do y'all think that the T community came from Egypt as well? You know what I'm saying? Do y'all think that? If y'all don't think that, if y'all do think that, do y'all think that? You know what I'm saying? Put it in the comments below. Let me know what y'all think. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? I got to come with the facts. So, you know what I'm saying? This is going to be an ongoing lecture. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't like how y'all just out here thinking that, oh, I'm a god. Like, bro, you're limiting yourself. You're a human being. This is a fact. You probably haven't even been, don't you, hey, y'all gotta know that there's levels to doing what you do, right? So if you don't practice anything, you're not gonna be good at anything. So how can you become a god at anything if you don't practice anything? So you're still, listen, not only are you're working for a God, you're not working for a government. Let me just get you, let me help you understand that. Because most of the stuff that you buy, right, is from a God. So, for instance, if y'all like Nikes, right? If y'all like Nikes and you constantly buy Nike is your God. If you got Nike everything, you feel like you the Nike man. Like literally, you the Polo man. Polo is your God. Literally. This is who you're giving your energy to, your time, your money, if you worship these things, they become your God. If you're an idol, if you idolize these things, they become your God. Whoever is your idol is your God. You go to all their concerts, you go buy all their merchandise, you go support everything, that's your God. You feel what I'm saying? You haven't become a God yet, bro. You know what I'm saying? You could listen, there's earthly gods and then there are gods that govern other aspects of life, right? Literally. You know what I'm saying? Because there's the underworld god that so Hades can come to earth. You know what I'm saying? This is a fact. He could come from the underworld, come on earth. He already got minions up here anyways. That's what the Disney movie was about, minions. Like, come on now. So you have to understand that there are different gods that govern different aspects of this world. Earthly gods, gods in the astros, gods in the underworld. There are gods everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You can worship any one of these gods if you choose to. You know? That's totally up to you. You know what I'm saying? When you become a god, that determines where you're going to be in this so-called life, what we know called life. Because like I said, once a god gets killed, for instance, once a god gets killed, something tragic is going to happen somewhere along the lines and cause a ripple effect in this reality. You know what I'm saying? And this is what's causing the Mandela effect. Because once something gets erased from time, you know what I'm saying? Once a God doesn't exist, their imprint on life doesn't exist anymore. And so life gets recreated. But you still existed on that timeline, so you still remember fragments of that God. And this is what a forgotten God is. You know what I'm saying? Of one who gets killed. And once that God gets killed, it distorts the timeline. A lot of people forget, except for the ones that were close to them, like the ambassadors or whatever. But yeah, you disrupt the timeline, the so life timeline when you do that, and you do pay the price for that. I don't know if it's immediately, but you do pay the price. But yeah, this is just part 2. I wanted y'all to understand that God's there's there's levels to it. So it goes human beings, magicians, demigods, gods, you know. But you would have to level up to a magician first. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You have to go through these stages of life. Like, bro, you can't just, because a god had to practice their magic in order to become a god at what they do. You know, you can't just wake up and, oh, I got the knowledge. I'm a god. There's already a god of knowledge. They call him Albert Einstein, quote unquote. They call him Who else? Tesla. You know what I'm saying? So Tesla and Albert Einstein don't want you to create something as good as them. So, and become a god. So Tesla and Albert Einstein are gonna, you know what I mean, join forces with the other people to help you go through the hurdles in this matrix. So yeah, this was part 2, y'all. Hope y'all got a more clear understanding of what a god is. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, family.